Welcome back to another Film Geek Movie review. In just a moment, I am going to walk my happy butt over to the futon to check out the Netflix original, Fixed. Fixed is an animated film directed by Genndy Tartakovsky, and it's starring Fred Armisen, Kathryn Hahn, and Idris Elba. It tells the story of a family dog who is going to get neutered, fixed, and so his dog buddies decide to take him out for one last hurrah, so that he can give his body part that he's about to lose one last good big ol' hurrah. And this movie looks like it's going to be filled with a ton of just obscene, gross out style humor, which in all honesty I can have a good laugh at. I do have the sense of humor of a 12-year-old, so probably will find something in this film I enjoy. Also too, it's directed by Genndy Tartakovsky, and if you're not familiar with that name, he is the creator of Samurai Jack, and I happen to be a huge Samurai Jack fan. My kids and I used to love watching that show when they were younger. We also watched a lot of those old Cartoon Network shows too. You could say that they grew up on that stuff because we all really enjoyed watching it. He's also worked on Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Lab, anything that was pretty well attached to the Cartoon Network cartoon show had something to do with him. And yes, that is back there. Let me make sure I get my hand lined up here correctly. There he is. There's my Samurai Jack. My kids got that for me for Christmas. I don't even know when. It was a long ass time ago. But yes, I am a fan. So I am really looking forward to this movie. It's also hand-drawn animation. It has been a long time. Well, actually, it hasn't been a long time because the Looney Tunes movie that came out here recently was a 2D drawn animated film. So I'm really hoping that maybe we're seeing a return to hand-drawn animation. And honestly, by watching the trailer, I can definitely see why this movie was not released in theaters. It's probably better for this movie to be on a streaming service just by the subject matter and what I've seen from the trailer. Well, you know what, guys? It's enough of me sitting here jibber-jabbering on. It is time for me to get over to the futon because, of course, my faithful movie companion Haku is waiting on me. Yeah, he's really interested in watching a movie about dogs, but that's okay. We'll get over there. Anyways, it's time for me to get on over to the futon to check out the new movie, Fixed. Just getting done watching Fixed, and guys, oh boy, this movie did not land with me very well. Alright, let's get this started, shall we? We're gonna get things started with negatives, then move into the positives to end the video on the ever so important high note. First thing I want to talk about is just the comedy of this film. Now, this movie is an adult animated comedy, so that should be the best part, right? It is a comedy. Did I laugh much? No, I did not. Now, I'm not saying that this movie is completely void of joy and happiness and laughs. I found myself chuckling a couple of times, and I'd had one really good laugh out loud moment, and myself and Haku got a really good moment. We both got a good laugh out of some cats that were also in this movie. But in all honesty, guys, this film's jokes are not great. This movie really relies heavily in crude humor. Now, I don't mind crude, offensive humor at all. Some of my favorite comedies are very crude and very offensive. But the difference is that those movies were they were well written, okay? I'm just gonna say it. This movie's jokes, the dialogue for the actors, none of it is very good at all. A lot of the moments with the comedy in this film that really land are moments of physical comedy. And that's the parts that I really enjoyed. And like I said, there are some decent jokes that got a chuckle out of me, but most of my really big belly laughs came from moments where I was literally watching physical comedy. And it's not because that's mostly where my sense of humor lies, it's just that crude comedy walks an extremely thin line, crude and gross out humor. And it has to be really done well in order for it not to be just a bunch of dick and fart jokes. And guess what? This is a bunch of dick, fart, and ass jokes. The movie, it's also tries to be a lot of different things. One part 2004 buddies comedy for a wild night out with your friends, and one part romantic comedy. And to be completely honest, even with the movie's runtime of just an hour and 20 some minutes, this film actually is able to fit in all of the tropes Not the good ones, unfortunately, but all of the tropes of romantic comedy and the crazy night out boys being boys types of movies. And it doesn't do a bad job of being one of, or being a combination of those movies, but again, the jokes just weren't landing. And those tropes, let me tell you, guys, they do hit every single one of them, especially in the romantic comedy. You have the boy meets girl, the girl is way out of his league, so he's gonna have to do some crazy things. There is a moment in the film where the boy does something stupid, and in order for the girl to fall back in love with said boy or girl, whatever the case may be, they have to do a grand gesture. And guess what? This movie does the exact same thing, and what a grand gesture it is, let me tell you what. The humor doesn't really land too awful well. The story itself has been there, done that, but it could have been done more creatively, and it's just nothing but a very tropey big mess. So what did I enjoy about this film? Well, first off, let's just talk about the animation. Now, this is also from Sony's Pictures and our Sony Animation, and I was really surprised by that because it wasn't a 3D animated film. I do believe this is Sony's first hand-drawn animated film, and it does look good. The animation style is definitely on point. I really love what this film was trying to achieve in the animation. It has a very classic, modern, but also a classic meets modern kind of animation is what I was trying to say there. It does a good job of blending in some of the old Tex Avery type of style with also more of a modern sensibility tacked onto it. So I really enjoyed that. The film is also extremely colorful. I like the color palette, and the backgrounds themselves are also really well done. Sometimes animated films or things of that sort on streaming services, they're going to cut corners and all, and I really think that this film was put together absolutely beautifully. Another thing that I also liked about this film was the cast. The voice actors, even though they weren't given a whole lot to work with, all of the voice actors show up. One of the actors I didn't mention in the intro was Adam Devine. He plays the main character, the dog that's going to get neutered Bull, and he actually does a great job with the character. His voice acting was really on point. Idris Elba was also really good in his role. So everyone does an excellent job. It's just they weren't really given a really great script to work with. I feel like if this could have been punched up a lot more, there was a lot of good stuff that could have happened with this movie, with the animation being so good, with such a great cast. But dang it, unfortunately, that script just didn't land. So all in all, guys, I almost forgot to say, one other thing I liked about this movie was the soundtrack. There was some really cool songs that were chosen in this movie that kind of pop up for different scenes and all. One in particular that really caught me off guard was Billy Paul's Me and Mrs. Jones, the R&B classic. God damn, do I love that song, and I also like it when it's actually used appropriately, because the song is about a forbidden romance, and it's actually used in a scene in this movie with a forbidden romance. So kudos to whoever put together the soundtrack for this film. A lot of good songs added in there. Well, so all in all, guys, the only thing I have to say about this is a Netflix film. It is not going to be something that's going to set you back $15, $20, whatever the case may be. It's on a streaming service, it's on Netflix. You can check it out at your own will. I would have to say that this film, if you are someone who is just really into dick and fart jokes, you're going to probably find a lot of stuff here. If you enjoy really well animated films and you just don't care about the humor, you just want to see the animation, it's beautiful. It's a very, very pretty film. But other than that, guys, I don't know if there's a lot here for you. So I'm going to give this one a stream it out of curiosity. Well, there you have it, guys. Thanks again for checking out the Film Geek, and enjoyed watching me sink down here a little bit. For some odd reason, my chair is slowly sinking, which I feel like that means it's time to end the video. So thanks again for checking out the Film Geek. If you liked what you saw here today, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for notifications, and give me the old thumbs up so I know you like what you're seeing. And if there's one more thing you can do, folks, that is keep watching movies. You know I'm gonna. I mean, what the hell?